crypto fans. If you're looking for the, like the quick and dirty lowdown on the dark side of crypto, well, you've come to the right place. Because today we're doing a deep dive and we're going headfirst into some fresh data from TRM Labs, a leading blockchain forensics firm. And it's all about, illicit activity in the crypto world for 2024.
Right.
And trust me, there's some pretty juicy insights here.
Oh, yeah, there's some really fascinating stuff that's coming out. And what's so interesting is that we're seeing a kind of tug of war playing out. The crypto space is booming, no doubt about it.
Right.
In 2024, we saw a whopping $10.6 trillion in transactions.
Wow.
That's a 56% increase.
Huge.
But here's the kicker.
Okay.
Illicit activity, while still significant at $45 billion, actually shrunk by 24% compared to 2023.
Okay, wait. So even though more money is flowing through crypto than ever before, the bad guys are getting a smaller piece of the pie.
Yeah.
That sounds like good news, right?
It definitely suggests that the crypto ecosystem is maturing. Yeah. Legitimate uses are outpacing the shady stuff, which is encouraging.
Yeah.
But hold your applause, there's a twist.
There's always a twist.
And this is where things get really interesting for anyone watching the crypto space.
Especially if you're following along with us here on CoinTalk Podcast.
Exactly.
Right, because if you want to get the full picture, you need to understand the nuances, and that's what we do here.
Yeah.
So hit that subscribe button and join us as we unpack this data.
Yeah.
So what is this twist you're talking about?
Well, within that shrinking pool of illicit activity, the nature of the crimes is changing.
Okay.
We're seeing a huge surge in sanctions-related transactions.
Interesting.
They now make up the biggest chunk of crypto crime.
Really?
A full 33%.
33%. Wow. That's massive.
Yeah.
It's like instead of petty theft, we're seeing a rise in high-stakes international espionage using crypto.
That's a pretty good analogy, actually.
Yeah.
It really highlights how geopolitical events are increasingly intertwined with the crypto world. And this shift to sanctions-related crime has some serious implications.
Oh, yeah.
Both for the crypto industry and global politics.
This is exactly the kind of in-depth analysis that you can expect here on CoinTalk Podcast.
Yeah.
We break down these complex trends and help you understand what it all means.
Yeah.
So if you're enjoying this deep dive, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends who are interested in crypto.
Absolutely.
Now, if we're talking about where these illicit transactions are happening, one blockchain keeps popping up.
Oh.
Tron. It accounts for a whopping 58% of all illicit activity.
It does.
Okay, red flag.
Right.
Tron, you're in the hot seat?
Yeah.
But before we jump to conclusions, there's another layer to this story, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
While Tron might be the top dog in illicit volume, it also saw the biggest drop. With a $6 billion decrease in illicit activity.
Hold on. So Tron is like the popular kid in school who's trying to clean up their act but is still getting in trouble?
Yeah.
I'm confused. Is this good news or bad news?
It's complicated.
Okay.
It could mean that authorities are cracking down more effectively on Tron-based crime, making it a riskier playground for criminals.
Okay.
But it could also mean that they're simply shifting to other blockchains.
Right.
We need more data to be sure.
This is why I love these deep dives.
Yeah.
There's always something new to uncover.
Always something new.
And remember, you can keep the conversation going over on our YouTube channel.
Please.
CoinTalk Podcast.
Yes.
Leave a comment and tell us what you think about these Tron trends.
Definitely.
And speaking of cracking down, there's a recent success story that really highlights how law enforcement is stepping up their game.
Oh, yeah.
Spanish authorities working with the T3 Financial Crime Unit,
Okay.
a group backed by Tron and our friends at TRM Labs, managed to freeze over $26 million in crypto tied to a money laundering ring operating across Europe.
Wow.
Wow, $26 million.
That's huge.
That's not chump change.
Right.
But hold on, how did they actually freeze the crypto? What power does this unit have? I'm guessing this is where blockchain technology's famous immutability comes into play.
That's the beauty of blockchain.
Oh.
Even though it's decentralized, every transaction is recorded permanently and publicly.
Right.
That makes it a powerful tool for tracking illicit funds, even across borders.
Interesting.
In this case, that can't be changed. Feature of blockchain actually worked against the criminals.
I love it. This is why I'm so fascinated by the potential of blockchain.
Yeah.
It can be used to fight crime just as effectively as it can be exploited by criminals.
Exactly.
Talk about a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
But all this data makes me wonder about the stuff we don't know. After all, TRM Labs themselves admit that their figures are likely to increase as they analyze more data. In fact, they've already revised their 2023 estimates upwards by a crazy 69%.
That's a huge jump.
Yeah.
And it underscores the challenges of tracking crypto crime. It's a constantly evolving landscape, a cat and mouse game between law enforcement and bad actors.
Oh yeah, for sure. Welcome back, crypto detectives.
Yeah.
We're knee-deep in the world of illicit crypto flows, and as we've seen, it's a twisty-turny ride.
It really is. And that 69% upward revision for 2023, talk about a plot twist.
Oh yeah.
Makes you wonder what else is lurking beneath the surface.
Exactly. It just goes to show that this is not a static game. The criminals are adapting, the technology is evolving, and the good guys are always playing catch-up.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of adapting, let's zoom in on Tron again for a moment.
Okay.
We talked about how it's lead-in in illicit volume, but also saw the steepest decline. What's the takeaway there?
Yeah, I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. Is Tron cleaning up its act, or are criminals just finding new playgrounds?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
It's possible that the increased scrutiny on Tron, maybe from law enforcement or even within the Tron community itself,
Okay.
has made it less appealing for illicit activities.
Interesting.
Criminals, like anyone else, want the path of least resistance.
So they're like, Tron's getting too hot, let's move on to the next shady blockchain.
Exactly, and that's why it's so important to look beyond the raw numbers and understand the underlying dynamics. The fight against crypto crime isn't just about catching the bad guys, it's about understanding their strategies and predicting their next moves.
So it's like a game of chess where you have to anticipate your opponent's moves and be ready to counter them.
Yeah.
And speaking of strategy, what about the good guys? What tools are they using to fight back?
Well, organizations like TRM Labs, the team behind this very data we're discussing, are at the forefront of developing cutting-edge tools to track and trace illicit crypto flows. And initiatives like the T3 Financial Crime Unit are crucial for bringing together different players, blockchain companies, law enforcement agencies, even financial institutions to collaborate and share information.
That makes sense. It's not a battle that any one entity can win alone.
No.
It requires a coordinated effort. Kind of like what we're trying to do here on CoinTalk Podcast, right? Bringing together experts and enthusiasts to break down these complex topics and make sense of the crypto world.
Exactly.
So if you're finding this deep dive helpful, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us get the word out.
Absolutely. The more informed the crypto community is, the better equipped we'll be to tackle these challenges. And that brings us to a crucial question. What can the average crypto user do to protect themselves?
Yeah, this is where it gets real for a lot of our viewers on CoinTalk Podcast.
Yeah.
We're talking about their hard-earned crypto, their investments, their digital security.
Exactly. And the first line of defense is always education.
Okay.
Stay informed about the latest scams and security best practices. There are tons of resources available online. And of course, we're always breaking down these topics on CoinTalk Podcast.
Right. We even did a whole series on common crypto scams last month. Make sure to check that out on our channel. But beyond education, it's all about being vigilant. Double-check transaction details, use reputable exchanges and wallets, and be wary of any offers that sound too good to be true. Remember, if something feels off, it probably is.
That's great advice, and don't be afraid to ask for help. The crypto community is generally very supportive. There are forums, online groups, even dedicated support teams at exchanges and wallet providers.
Exactly. There's no shame in asking questions. Better to be safe than sorry, right? Especially when we're talking about something as potentially volatile as crypto.
Couldn't agree more, and that's what makes this whole deep dive so important. We're shining a light on the dark underbelly of the crypto world, not to scare people off, but to empower them with knowledge. Knowledge is power, after all.
And power to the people, right? That's what crypto is all about. But seriously, staying informed is the best way to protect yourselves and contribute to a safer, more transparent crypto ecosystem.
Well said, and that's a perfect segue into the final part of our deep dive. We've explored the trends, the challenges, the strategies, but what about the future? What new tools and strategies might emerge to combat this ever-evolving threat?
Welcome back to the final leg of our crypto crime-fighting journey. We've covered a lot of ground from the overall trends to specific cases, and it's clear that this cat-and-mouse game between the good guys and the bad guys is only getting more intense.
Yeah, it's a digital arms race, no doubt. But the good news is that the forces of good are armed with some pretty impressive tools, and they're getting better all the time.
So let's talk about those tools. What's in the arsenal for combating illicit crypto activity in the future?
Yeah.
What's going to be the game changer?
Well, one area that's already shown a lot of promise is artificial intelligence, or AI.
Okay.
It's not just science fiction anymore. It's being deployed right now in the fight against crypto crime.
AI, huh? That sounds like something straight out of a cyberpunk novel, but how does it actually work in this context?
Imagine having a superpowered detective constantly monitoring the blockchain, analyzing millions of transactions in real time. That's what AI can do.
Wow.
It can spot patterns, anomalies, connections that would be impossible for humans to detect. It's like having a sixth sense for spotting suspicious activity.
Whoa, that's pretty mind-blowing. So AI can basically connect the dots and flag potentially illicit transactions before they even happen. That's incredible.
It's not quite pre-crime, but it's getting there. AI can identify high-risk addresses, track the flow of funds through complex networks, and even predict future criminal behavior based on past patterns.
But isn't there a risk that the bad guys will also use AI to their advantage? It's like giving both sides the same powerful weapon.
Of course, that's a valid concern. It's a constant arms race, but the good news is that the good guys are aware of this and are actively developing countermeasures. It's a constant game of cat and mouse, but AI is definitely leveling the playing field.
So it's not just about having the best technology. It's about using it strategically, outsmarting the criminals, and staying one step ahead. Makes you wonder what other futuristic tools are being developed in the fight against crypto crime. Maybe we'll have blockchain sniffing dogs or something.
Who knows what the future holds, but beyond AI, another crucial element in this fight is collaboration.
Right, like we were saying earlier, it's not a battle that any one entity can win alone. It takes a global village to raise a secure crypto ecosystem.
Exactly. We need organizations like TRM Labs, the T3 Financial Crime Unit, law enforcement agencies, financial institutions, and even individual crypto users working together, sharing information and coordinating their efforts.
It's like that old saying, if you see something, say something. But for the crypto world, we all have a role to play in keeping it safe and secure. And speaking of playing a role, a huge shout out to all of you who are part of the CoinTalk Podcast community. You're helping us spread awareness, educate others, and make the crypto space a better place.
Absolutely. And that's what makes this whole deep dive so rewarding. It's not just about uncovering the dark side of crypto. It's about empowering people with knowledge and inspiring them to take action.
And on that note, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the future of crypto crime fighting? Do you think AI will be the ultimate weapon? What other tools or strategies do you think will emerge? Head over to our YouTube channel, CoinTalk Podcast, and drop your thoughts in the comments section. We love hearing from our viewers.
And while you're there, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. We're breaking down complex crypto topics like this all the time.
Because at the end of the day, the more informed we all are, the better equipped we'll be to navigate the exciting and sometimes treacherous world of cryptocurrency. Stay curious, stay vigilant, and keep on exploring.